Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, everybody. Good evening. Good evening. Good evening. Welcome, welcome, welcome to our monthly masterclass. Good evening. Good evening. We just wait for more people to join in, and we'll set the ball rolling. So, jump on, everyone. We are here waiting. Jump on, everyone. Jump on. Jump on, everyone. We're here already. Oops. Yeah. Hi, everybody. Can you hear and see me? Please put a 1 in the chat box if you can hear and see me. Just before I get started, I just need a 1 in the chat box. And then I know you can hear and see me and I can carry on talking. Brilliant. Hi, Black Rose. Thank you for joining on. We just get started. Welcome to the masterclass for the month of May, right? The month is going by so quickly. The year is going by so quickly, and it's already the fifth month. If you are new to this community, I want to say thank you for coming. If you have been a part of our community, a better me, I want to also say thank you for staying through. Thank you for the support. Thank you for finding us valuable enough to stick with. And I do hope that this particular masterclass will be another journey to our growth, as we've been doing for the past, few years now. So thank you so much for jumping on. Tonight we're talking about moving from overwhelmed to organized. And community members would know that earlier in the month, the first 7 day of this month of May, the challenge that we took on is for us to, master some habits of decluttering. So, and we're taking that on to now have a master class on that. That's what we do in the community. If you're new to us, if you're just coming on, I am Shakira Okiwale. Welcome, Black Rose. Welcome, Bestin. We expect more people to join us in here. But just before that, I'll just carry on with the introduction and then we can get started. And then whoever joins us will then, catch up with that. So I am Shakira Okiwale, and I'm a personal growth coach at A Better Me. We help startup and stressed entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. We help them with, mastering themselves, knowing more about themselves, and of course, mastering themselves through self-awareness and self-mastery. So every month we have this free masterclass just to encourage ourselves and have growth conversation and see where we're working on in any of the 12 areas of our lives. And people who are in our community, in our WhatsApp community, they're open to other benefits. So if you're a new member tonight, if you want to join the community, of course, you can put that in the chat box if you're interested, and then we can always send you the link. But for tonight, let's get started. We're moving from overwhelmed to organized. That's what we're going to be talking tonight. And I'm going to be sharing my screen. If you can see my screen, please let me know in the chat box if you can see my screen, right? If you can see my screen, please let me know. I welcome you to the masterclass, Holistic Decluttering Techniques for Business Entrepreneurs. If you're an entrepreneur in the room, please let me know in the chat box. Cool. Thank you, Black Rose. Thank you so much. It's going to be an engaging session. And I really appreciate already that you're kind of engaging with us. Thank you. So I want to put in the chat box if you're an entrepreneur, you've just started, or you're about to start. Put in the chat box if you're an entrepreneur, if you are just starting up, or you're aspiring to start. So what you put there would either be start up or aspiring, and that way I'd be able to know how to tailor my talk to suit our needs, because I know that everyone's needs is usually different. And it's a small group tonight, so it'd be nice for me to also be able to tailor my talk to accommodate the needs of everyone in the room, or maybe most of the people in the room. So thank you. I'll look up for my chat, my comments, to see what you're putting in there in terms of your level of entrepreneurship, whether you're a startup or you're aspiring. Let me know in the chat box. Cool. I'm Shakira Okewale. Like I said, I'm coach at A Better Me. And tonight we're going to be helping ourselves get better on the journey of growth. Thank you, Black Rose. She says she's already running business. That's beautiful. Small. Oh, okay. Anyways, that's good to know that you're already in business, and this masterclass would, of course, help you in getting better on the journey of entrepreneurship. We will do some housekeeping. We'll do some housekeeping just so that we know how to engage on the chat tonight. So one of the things would be to encourage everyone to zone in. If there is anything that could, sort of disturb you or distract you wherever you are, maybe your phone, you can turn it off or put it on silent. Maybe that'd be a better option. Please put it on silent so that you can zone in fully into the chat tonight. And I also want you to have a journal and a pen so that you can take notes. You take notes, then you implement, then of course you see results. And I also want us to engage. I see that that's been happening already. You're engaging, you're interacting. That's beautiful. I want more of that so that we can really connect more with ourselves. And I'll also encourage us to use the chat box as much as possible, and then turn off your mic. Of course, this is not really applicable. This is a YouTube session. Usually we have some of these live sessions on Zoom. So turning off your mic might not be applicable, but however, zone in as much as you can and let's enjoy yourselves. Cool. Grab a bottle of drink. I don't know what you're going to be having tonight. A coffee, tea, water. Let me know in the chat box what you have with yourself. I'm going to be sipping on my water tonight. We opened up the month of January in our community. We opened up that year with mastering the habit of staying hydrated. And oh, cool. Makes both of us. So we opened up the challenge for our community in January with mastering healthy, staying hydrated. And that has been sort of a habit for many of us in the community. Right, so let's get started. I'd like to check in. Why have you joined the masterclass tonight? What's the one thing that you're looking out for tonight in the masterclass? What is that one thing that you're looking to take away from the masterclass tonight? Is it to be more organized? Is it to structure your day? Is it to don't let me put words before you now. Let me allow you zone in and put in the chat box why you have joined the session for tonight. What are you looking out for from tonight's session? What is it you want to take away from tonight's session? Tips on decluttering I'm an order so I can feel clearer. Brilliant. Thank you for your vulnerability. And this always helps because the more that we can open up, the more that we can receive. Cool. So organization simply means that we're good. Success simply means that you're organized. As an entrepreneur, we really want to be organized. If you look at the picture, I like to do a lot of pictures because I've noticed that pictorially, visually, we're able to take things away. We're able to retain information. We're able to remember when we see things, especially if you're a visual learner, right? If you look at this on my screen, you can see what contributes to success. Whereas success can be different meanings for different people. But on the journey of entrepreneurship, success will be almost the same for most of us. We want to be able to make profit on the business. We want to be able to impact. We want to be able to inspire people. We want to be able to retain clients, retain customers, take them on a journey. We want to ensure that we're in business and we're hitting our goals and targets. We want to be in business to keep improving ourselves, to keep getting better. And to be honest, this all feels like a lot of things that we need to do in business. One of my popular saying is that, not everyone can scale a business. Anyone can start a business. Anyone can come out and say, oh, this is the business that I have started. This is the name. This is why I started it. Anyone can literally do that. But not everyone can sustain businesses. Why is that? It's because there are nitty-gritty to sustaining businesses. And the most important, which I think not so many people pay attention to, is personal growth. People just start business for the sake of, it'd be nice for me to be in business so that I can increase my chances of financial success, right? The intention would be clearer as we move ahead on the journey. But I'm saying this to let you know that personal growth is quite very important for us to be able to move our business to the next level. because in choosing growth, we really can know what it is we stand for, what we want from that business, and how we need to position ourselves to get to the level where we want in the business to hit our goals. And I'm super excited that somebody already said that they want to declutter so that they can feel clearer. That's an aim, that's a goal for you to be able to know this is what I want to work on this next level of my business or this season of my business, right? As you can see, we have trainings, we have goals, we have vision, inspiration, focus, and teamwork. And I really want to drive your attention towards focus. And one of the things that would never allow an entrepreneur to really focus would be the way that we run our business and the way that we organize ourselves. Now, what do we organize in businesses? Quite a number of things we organize in our businesses. But the most important thing is we ourselves have to organize ourselves because we are the major stakeholder in any business. Whatever business that we're running, the people in the business are the stakeholders, right? They're the major stakeholders. Because if you have a business and the people don't turn up, they don't show up, they are not organized to declare the value or to throw the offer to people, to the customer, I don't think there's going to be any connection between the seller and the buyer. Indeed, there needs to be a lot of focus in our minds, in the way that we operate our works, in the way that we do things. There needs to be a lot of focus. However, when we're not organized, we really cannot strike that focus. And if we cannot focus, we cannot be productive. We can't. And if we're not productive, chances are we will just create mediocre works. We'll just be busy in the business without being productive, right? Please put productive in the chat if you want to be more productive. We just don't want to be busy in our businesses. What we want is we want to be productive. And that means we need to focus. We need to make decisions. We need to show up. We need to be clean. We need to be organized. We need to be structured, right? We need to be all of that. And it takes steps and we will get there. But at the moment, please put productive in the chat box and I would be more than happy to read from you. Cool. Clutter and types. Clutter is one thing that could be physical, could be mental, could be spiritual. We'll talk about that. But it's anything that disturbs the flow of our work. It disturbs the flow of our being as a human, as an entrepreneur, as a person. It disturbs us. It disturbs the energy that we receive. As you hear, clutter, as it means, is just some sort of obstruction that blocks. It blocks, it disturbs. From the word clutter, it blocks the things that we want to receive. It blocks the way that we are being. It blocks our abundance. It blocks a lot of things around us. And going to the types of clutter, it would open us more to know what kind of clutter we really have around us. First of all, is physical clutter. Physical clutter is in our homes, in our workspace, on our body, the way that we're being. We just could be piling up clutter, and we might not notice until it's physically obvious. But the most obvious one is physical clutter because that's the one that you can really notice. So say for instance, in your home, you want a new set of clothes, or you've been thinking, oh, I would love a new pair of shoes. But the ones you have, you seem not have space to accommodate new shoes. Then there might be a need for you to do some decluttering. Because everything comes back to an alignment. It's an holistic way of doing things. It's an holistic way of positioning on the physical level. In our workspace as well, maybe on our desk or on our system, in our filing, we need to also have that organization. Because if we don't have that organization, we would be disturbed. Research has shown that physical clutter, when you pile up debt or when you pile up a lot, sometimes it's just not debt. Sometimes it's just some useful things that has been misplaced, that has been put in the wrong places, or that has just been piled up and left there for some time. As you can see in the picture, there are quite a number of books behind the lady, and she's trying to do quite a number of things together on the phone. Her books are there. She's probably looking onto her system, trying to do a lot of things at the same time. And this, as you can see from the look, you can see some physical clutter. It doesn't really look clean, calm, and tidy. That's a physical clutter. And this can happen to us in this can be the way that we are in our homes, in our workspaces, and even on our body. Clutter on the body could be the way that you show up physically, the way that you're dressed, the way that you appear. Your color combination can be a clutter. Your choices of clothing can be a clutter. So we need to identify where things are cluttered up on our side of physical, on our physical side, right? In the community, early in the month of May, in the community, one of the challenges we did was to identify spaces that need to be cleaned up in our workspace and in our homes. And we did that, and I really love the comment that people, shared, the testimonials that people shared as to what that made them feel after going through that challenge. Now, you might be thinking, how does this apply to my business? Yes, it does apply to our businesses, because if we cannot find calm and space in the way that we operate in our business, then there's going to be problems with the output that we give out from our business, right? And you will understand more of that as we go on the chat. The second one, which is very common, is mental clutter. And this is in terms of our thoughts, our emotions, and our energy. This can mentally also disturb us from receiving. This can, also be a big clutter in the way that we want to receive. Our thoughts, some people are overthinkers. You know, if you're an overthinker, it means that you live in your head, and most of the time you take decisions on impulse because you really cannot process, because you're blocked up. There's so much obstruction in your mind with your thoughts. Oh, I want to send an email to a friend. I want to do an invoice. I want to jump on that masterclass. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want to do this. And then that's as you can see the picture, and that's the tumble. It's a roller coaster in your mind, in your head, and you really cannot be settled to make the right decision. Some of the times there are underlying issues to mental clutter. Sometimes it could be that we're stressed. It could be that we traumatized from something that has happened to us, maybe as a child or our life experience, or maybe we're even going through a lot in our businesses. For some reason, we accumulate lots of thoughts that are not in line with what we want to create, and that obstructs what we are putting out as our output. And so these affect us. As you can see in the picture, maybe this lady has suffered a loss, which she's bereaved and thinking about. She has her aspirations. She's thinking about that as well. Oh, I want to be the best in my field. I want to break the ceiling. I want to be more profitable in my business. And the anxiety is also there. How do I do these things? How do I show up more? How do I organize? How do I create an offer? How do I do my marketing? All of the anxiety is also there. Of course, the fear is also there of, oh, if I take this decision, is it going to work out? Am I going to get the result that I really want to get? That is also there. Some hidden happiness is also there. Maybe today you've just closed the sale. I mean, congratulations, we've closed some sales today. And the happiness can also be there. The excitement can also be there, which can also clutter up the way that we're feeling, the way that we're producing. So sometimes clutter might not only be bad things. It might not only be positive, negative emotions. Sometimes the way that we position our emotions can also turn out to be a clutter. Have you ever experienced a time when you're so happy that you could not do anything? You're just so happy, and you're so happy and you're just feeling too tired to even do a lot. Put a one in the chat if that has happened to you before. You've experienced happiness, excitement that now makes you really tired, or just keeps you in the comfort zone. Please put a one in the chat box if you have experienced that before. If you've ever experienced that before, put a one in the chat box. I'd like to know, right? I'd like to know if you have experienced that before, right? Put a one in the chat box. I want to read that. Another thing could be your dreams. You've got big goals, and that is just getting into your way of doing because you want it right and now. You want the result right and now, which might bring some sort of desperation energy into the picture. Please put a one in the chat box. Let me know if you've experienced some hidden happiness or some hidden excitement before, such so that you couldn't be on your toes to take the best decision in that moment. Right? This is also another type of clutter. I'm breaking this type of clutter down so that we will know which one is dominant for us. And if we know what's dominant for us, we then can channel our energy to correcting them the right way. Cool, thank you. I can see your one. Another one, which is the third one, is a spiritual clutter. This is usually there, but we don't know it's there. But conversations like this awakens us, brings our awareness to know that these things are there. And two things that resonate when we talk about spiritual clutter will be, number one is our ego self. Our ego self is always blocking us, is always obstructing us from stepping into the right level. Our ego self is responsible for the confidence that we have, for the beliefs that we have in ourselves, and how we treat and nurture ourselves, and how we treat others. Our ego self is responsible for how we make decisions, right? It tells us whether we're enough or we're not enough. Our ego self is speaking to us. It's just some sort of internal noise. It's some sort of another side of us speaking to us. Sometimes we have internal dialogue, right? That is your ego self speaking to you. Sometimes it come up and speak to you positively. It tells you, oh, Black Rose, you're doing well, you're doing amazing. Sometimes it comes to you and say that assignment is not for you. You cannot achieve it. It's not your work, it's not your right. You can't do it. Right? So the ego self comes into communication with us every now and then. And it could bring up spiritual clutter because so many times it could tell us things that are not true. Many times it tells us things that are not true. What we want to do in those instances is to be able to identify when the ego self is speaking to us and when it is obstructing us from being able to take the right decisions for ourselves. And that's why it's always good for this one, it's always good for us to have a life's vision so that when the ego self starts a conversation that looks like a negative conversation, we are able to identify it as being the ego conversation and not the truest conversation that we really want to hear. Because then it brings up this conversation and this obstructs the things that we really need to be doing in our personal spaces, in our spiritual spaces, in our work life. It happens. And then you find yourself being in competition with others when really there is no need for that. But the ego self has told you, no, go and see how the other people is doing their work. And you can copy how they're doing it and bring that into your business. And then the competitive spirit begins to thrive in you rather than having that certainty spirit, right? That's an ego self bringing up a clutter into your spirituality. And you want to also be aware of that. Another thing that can clutter up is when you don't have a purpose, when you're not in touch or in tune with your life's purpose. You'll be cluttered up because then you don't really feel fulfilled with your work, with how you're being, with the things that you're doing. You don't find fulfillment. You're not happy, right? And the actions that you're taking, the things that you're doing is not in alignment with what you truly want. And that can be a sense of unidentified purpose. That can be a sense of that can be a sign of unidentified purpose, or that can even be a sign of undefined life's purpose. And these are clutter. They do not allow us to move forward. They obstruct us. Like I said, clutter is just some sort of obstruction, right? So not being defined about our purpose would obstruct us from moving forward, would obstruct us from having that calm, the peace, the happiness, the organization that we really need to move ahead in our entrepreneurial journey, right? Please put a one in the chat box if you're still with me. Let me be sure that you're still with me. So why do we need to declutter? For so many reasons, we need to declutter. But the reason might be different for everyone in the room. Oh, thank you. I can see FF like Fasina is in the room. Hi, hi, hi. Thank you for joining in. Cool. Why do we need to declutter? These are some of the reasons we need to declutter. For some people, it could be calm, but for so many times when we declutter, you definitely always find calm. Take a look at when you jump on your work desk and everything is just organized. You have your filing of the works that you want to do for the day. You have your to-do list. You have the list of people that you want to call. Everything is just organized like that. Your operation or the works that you want to do for the day is quite, organized on your list of activities for the day. You will find calm because then you don't have to worry about, oh, maybe something is missing. Maybe I need to call this person, or right now my phone is ringing, or right now I need to send that email. You will find calm when you declutter. Another reason why we need to declutter is because it brings happiness. When you do the things that you said you would do, you plan yourself, you organize yourself, and you do the things that you said you will do, you'll find happiness because that's fulfillment. By saying, oh, today I want to speak to 5 new clients, or I want to speak to 5 new prospects. And you do that. You feel fulfilled, isn't it? Because you've done what you said you're going to do. And so you bring happiness. So when you organize yourself and you organize your time and you structure your day and you do the work that you really need to do, you find happiness. And if this is also in the space of in the comfort of your homes, your room, your whatever, your lounge, your meditation room, whatever, your kitchen, whatever it is that you decide to say, oh, let me clean up today, let me tidy up today, let me organize today, you will find that serenity, you find that happiness within you once you complete that exercise. Okay, FF says, very good evening, CK. Very good evening to everyone on the platform. Thank you, Flake Fasaya. Another thing is we need to declutter so we can get good sleep. Many times people complain about insomnia. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't do that. And if you trace what has happened to them during the day, so many times they've acquired so much stress from their work. They've brought that back to their homes and they cannot really shut their mind, and so they cannot sleep. Of course, excluding if there is any sort of disease, God forbid, if there's any sort of illnesses, God forbid, that can also impact our sleep. But clutter is one thing that has been said to increase the cortisol level in ourselves, in our bodies, because the environment, when it's not clean or calm or serene enough, our body feels it. You might not know, but the body is feeling it. And as the body feels that, there's a sign, there's an impulse that is sent from your mind to your nerves that is reacting to say there is a threat around. I'm not safe. The body is signaling to other part of the body and saying this body isn't safe. And so in a way, you're aware that your body is not safe. In a way, you might not be aware. If you're aware that the body is not safe, you can have some trembling reactions. Maybe you're fidgeting or you're just restless. And that's why some people just be restless before they're able to catch a sleep at night. Because there could be some things in our surrounding that is it's giving us that signal that something doesn't seem right around us. Right. So, and many times, if you ground yourself so well, you will get that intuition to know that, oh, I need to clean the room. I need to take something away. I need to clear my mind. Another thing that could, impact our sleep is maybe just before the sleep, you have cluttered your mind up with a lot of videos or digital social media. You've watched a lot of things, and that's all you're thinking about. Subconsciously, you don't even know it that this is happening, but you've consumed a lot of information around that time that doesn't align with who you are, what you want, and that doesn't align with your calm nature. At that point, you won't be able to find your nocturnal sleep. And so that can cause insomnia, right? Another reason we should declutter is it would improve our focus and our productivity. Don't forget the other time when I showed you the picture of that other lady who has a lot going on her head. She was thinking about her dreams, her goals, her aspirations, the customers she needs to reach out to, the works that she needs to do. She's just so cluttered up with a lot of things in her mind. And for that reason, she couldn't focus on what she needed to do for the day. And for that reason, she ended up her day not feeling productive. She ended up her day not, she doesn't even have a list of what she wanted to do. She didn't even organize her day to say, at the end of today, X, Y, and Z are the things that I must have done. There isn't that kind of structure. No time management, no structuring, no calendar to sort of track the works that you need to do for the day. There won't be productivity. There won't be focus, right? Another reason we need to declutter is when you start doing that as a routine, your self esteem will improve, your confidence will improve. When you step out looking clean, feeling clean in and out, mind, body, soul, and spirit, environment, when you step out, your confidence will be different. It will be different. Another thing is your mental health. Like I said the other time, cortisol is an hormone that is produced when we are stressed. And, mental stress, mental clutter can cause mental stress. When we are stressed, we produce cortisol, when we produce adrenaline hormone. And these hormones, they destabilize us. They make us sometimes always remain in a flight mode, a mode where we feel like, oh, there's threat coming, a mode where we always think that something is wrong, something is about to happen to us, whereas really there is nothing. And that particular mode as well, the production of those hormones as well, makes us always focus on the negative much more than the positive. And you will struggle so many times to find positive mental attitude at those instances, right? The seventh one is healthy relationship. You might not know that the way that you're cleaning up your spaces, body, mind, soul, and spirit, is impacting your relationship with yourself. And it would also impact your relationship with others. You might not know it's happening. If you have a clean nature, if you have a clean space, a clean workspace, a clean home, you would attract more clean relationship into your life. You might not know that's happening. That's going to be happening. You might not see it, but it's definitely happening. And the eighth one, which is very, very important, is we need to declutter so that we can make space for new things to come. I was listening to one of my mentors the other time, and it was mentioned, it was talking about how it was sharing a story of how a man who has been praying for a new car had to go and clear a space in front of his house and made space for another car. He cleared the space and said, "This is the space for my new car." And yes, he received that new car because he already made space for it. And another way that I thought about that as well for me is when I'm decluttering my wardrobe, I'm thinking in my mind that I'm decluttering so that I can receive new set of clothing, so that I can, fill up my space, so that I can fill up my closet. When you declutter, when you let go, you make space for new things to come. You make space for new opportunities to come. It could also be decluttering, freeing your calendar. Maybe your calendar is always occupied with activities that you never really have a breathing space. Then you will not have space for new clients to fill into your calendar. You won't have space for new activities to take you to that next level. But when you make space, you organize your work, you organize your room, you organize your workspaces, you organize your environment, you will be able to see what needs to come in. And by telling the subconscious mind that, oh, I need this needs to come here, this needs to go away, by instructing the subconscious mind now automatically signals to the universe to send you those things. Right? So you need to make space to receive. That's really important. Right? You can make a screenshot of this as I move to the next chart, the next slide rather. Cool. So why don't we want to declutter? This is another question that we need to ask ourselves. Many times we're looking at the why. We should also look at the why nots, because the why is one thing, the why not is another. Why don't we want to declutter? Number one is ignorance, and ignorance is the worst form of suffering. Ignorance is the worst form of suffering, because if you don't know what you don't know, Maybe the information that will get you to that next level is just around the corner for you. But if you don't have that information at your hand, you might not be able to step into the next right level, and that level is awaiting you. But you might not be able to step in there because you don't have the right information at hand. So some people don't know what decluttering, how decluttering can change their trajectory in their business or any area of their lives. And so they don't really take it serious. So ignorance is one thing. Another thing is fear of missing out. Fear of missing out is you're thinking, oh, if I give out this clothes, would I have another jacket to wear to that conference? Or if I give out the shoe, would I be able to do this and do that? Or if I, the fear is always there, like, oh no, I can't give this out, or I can't do this, or I can't sort this out, or I can't close down my work, I can't shut down my time now. You're just scared of something. There's always an underlying fear of missing something, which only you can trace. And, because you're aware of this conversation right now, future going forward, there will be times when this will pop up. You would be able to touch base with what fears you're having and how this fear is impacting you. So it might be the fear of missing out, the fear of, thinking that if I say, for instance, you want to clear your workspace and you have this piece of pen, which is a sentimental gift, and you're thinking, but it's not serving you, you've not used it for a long time, and you're saying, because it's sentimental, let me just keep it here. Well, that might be a good reason to keep things. But if it is not serving you, you can as well let it go away. Because imagine how many sentimental gifts you want to then keep. So in that instance, what I do is I have a box of sentimental items that I don't want to give out. And once it's filled, I have to go back in there and see what needs to go out. Because before you know it, your box of sentimental items would also overflow. And then your clutter is overflowing before you know it. The third one is you're having the need to hoard. And this usually has an underlying story. Sometimes it's because we lacked some things. Sometimes this is traced to our worries in the past. For instance, maybe for instance, if while growing up, if you were grown up in a home where money wasn't surplus, you could earn money growing up. You could say, oh, how it took me so much time to make this money. I can't even give that a dime out of this money to charity, or I can't really donate a dime out of this money. Sometimes there's a background story that is making us odd, that is making us keep things to ourselves, that's telling us that no, you have to keep it. I tell you, we need to break that. If you have that feeling, you need to break that. I think someone shared in the chat box the other time. You need to break that, because that could be a story that you're telling yourself and you don't even know that it's there. Sometimes the trauma, maybe you lose things as a child. That's number 4 now. The need to always protect. Maybe you lose things easily, and so you are very overprotective. You misplace things easily, and so you are very overprotective. Or maybe you've lost somebody, a loved one in the past, and you've really not recovered from that bereavement. You might have that overprotective spirit, over mothering spirit, which can be a block to us receiving. Right? So don't order anything, let it go. One of the songs that I like to remind myself when I'm decluttering is let it go, let it go, let it go. One of the songs that always come to my mind when I'm doing that is let it go, let it go. Just let it go. Let it go. Don't hold on to anything. It's even good to have a mind. Our state of mind is also has something to play here. Have a mind that is attached to nothing. And you need to constantly tell yourself that my life is big. My life is bigger than this glass cup. It's bigger than this business. My life is bigger than this piece of book. My life is big. My life is bigger than this relationship that's no longer serving me. My life is big. So don't order anything. Don't keep anything. If it's not serving you, let it go. Right? And don't be overprotective. Number 5 is sometimes we do not want to come out of our comfort zone. That's why we do not really declutter. You get to work, you're not organized. You didn't make your to-do list. You didn't show up as a structured and organized team leader. How then do you want to build team? How do you want to encourage your team to do the same? because you're in your comfort zone. You're doing what you're comfortable with. You don't want to push yourself. You're okay with little effort. And for that reason, you might just not want to do the right things. You might just not want to declutter. And so your mind is filled, your mind is, your mind is disturbed, your mind is overwhelmed. And that's where the overwhelm comes from. That's another reason why we don't want to do it. We're so overwhelmed that we do not know where to start. We're so overwhelmed that we do not know where to start. And I can encourage you tonight to say, start from somewhere. I'll give you more tips and strategies in the coming slide. Start from somewhere. But if you need to screenshot the slide, please go ahead and do that. Right? Please go ahead and do that. Maybe you can always go back to that as you're also taking notes. I know you're taking notes. Please put in the chat box if you are. Put noted in the chat box if you're taking notes. Noted. Please put noted. If you're taking note, put noted in the chat box. I'm just moving on to the next slide now. Maybe there's some sort of delay. But if you can, yeah, cool. Cool. Ayani, thank you so much for sharing. Noted. So when do we declutter? Is this supposed to be something that we reserve till end of the month, or when do we declutter? Thank you, Antonia. Noted. When do we declutter? Decluttering should be an habit. It should be a continuous thing for us. It should be daily. It should be a lifestyle habit. And I know that some of us are not already there. I'm not there myself. It's something I'm still mastering. But the moment that you keep doing this every day, every time, it keeps getting better. And don't forget, we've said some of the importance of doing these things is to really be happy, create more happiness, create more calm, create more productivity. Thanks for Fola. Good evening. Thanks for joining on. Okay, so how do we then declutter in our businesses or in our workspaces or in our personal spaces? How do we declutter? One of the things that we need to start doing is, and which is very important, is we need to have an intention while we're doing these things. Attach it to your life's vision. And if you remember, in the month of March, if you're in the community, the WhatsApp community, the habits that we mastered in the month of March, the 7-day challenge that we did, was to craft our own life's vision and to keep saying it and to keep, reinstating that in our mind so that we can speak that when we're not thinking, when we don't have to overthink it. The subconscious mind already know who we are and what we stand for. And so how to do that is to really attach it to our life's vision. So for instance, if your life's vision is to show up and help people discover themselves, you then need to know that you have to declutter your space so that you can be confident in running your own life's vision. So that you can be happy to run your life's vision. So that you can be organized and so you can help others achieve their own results. So we really need to attach the cluttering of the thing and organizing. We need to attach it to our life's vision. It's an intentional thing to do. Thanks, Remy. Thanks, Ruth. Right? And the second way to do that is when you want to start being organized, you need to declutter first before thinking of organizing. Sometimes when we're on our work desk, maybe you've scheduled a time to say, Thursday, 10 a.m., I'm going to declutter my space. And then you started arranging. No, don't get started with that. What you need to get started with would be for you to evaluate, write out the things that you want to do, write out the reason you want to declutter, write out the things that you want to take out. And, take those things out first and then organize the things that you have. Why do we do this? If we go ahead to organize before you declutter, you end up not taking out the mess that needs taking out. Sometimes this is it in our mental spaces as well. When you want to organize your mind and to say, I don't want to be an overthinker again, I want to really be a focused person, you need to first start to look at what is making me overthink. And you have to get that story out of the way. Is it because of my money worries? Is it because I don't have the customer base that I want to have? Is it because I'm not pushing myself enough? Is it because of this and that? You really need to get to the root cause. So take out the clutter, identify the clutter first, and then start organizing. The third one would be to do it in baby steps. Remember in the previous slide, we shared that the reason people don't declutter or they don't show up organized is because they're already overwhelmed. They're already too tired. Maybe they've tried too hard and it didn't get results. Or maybe they just feel so choked in their workspace, they don't know where to start. Please start with baby steps. And in using baby steps, I've come up with some rules that will really help you get started. The first one is the Kaizen principle. Kaizen principle is a 1% improvement every day. Today, maybe you're able to do your wardrobe alone. Tomorrow, you might say, oh, let me do my work desk. And next tomorrow, it's just a continuous improvement. And that's what Kaizen principle means. It means 1% improvement every day. Please put a 1%, put 1% in the chat box. Let me know that you are still here and you're taking that on. 1% every day. You need to screenshot this one if you've not been using this principle. This is an amazing principle that just allows you go in beats and you don't have to overwhelm yourself. Remember, the topic is from organized to overwhelm. I mean, from overwhelmed to organized. And we do not want to overwhelm ourselves yet. We do not want to overwhelm ourselves more, if you understand. So use the 1% method. And I'm asking us to type this in the chat because the more we type things, the more we write things, the more it sinks into our subconscious and we can make do, we can implement it in our private spaces. Number 5 is the 5-minute rule. Anything that wouldn't take you more than 5 minutes, jump on that first. So maybe it would, your to arrange your shoe rack might be as easy or as quick as 2 minutes. Jump on that quickly. Anything that will not take you more than 5 minutes, jump on that quickly. Right? That's the 5-minute rule. The 90-90 rules is for you to look into your workspace or your wardrobe and look at what you've not really used in the last 90 days and that you will not use in the next 90 days. That's the 90-90 rules. And the next rule that you can also use is the 12-12-12 rules. Honestly, this can be really straightforward. But as you get more into the roots or as you get more in the habits of decluttering and organizing, this rule might not be applicable to you any longer because this rule says, look at your space and look at the 12 things that don't serve you. Right now, maybe my piece of glasses, oh, maybe this, maybe the pen is just been hanging there for so long. Maybe the diffuser is just empty. There's nothing in there again. The candle is melted. Just look at the 12 items that's no longer serving you right now in your space and just take them away. Do that over 12 days and do that over 12 days and do that over 12 minutes. Do the 12-12 rules and try that as you go on in the journey of being organized and structuring. This might not really apply to you again, but for starters in the journey of organizing, this would really be applicable because it's a quick method that you can use. The 8th one is delegate. We cannot do everything all by ourselves. There is a saying that I usually love to say that when you're going alone, you go fast, but when you're going with people, you go far. Sometimes you get tired, and it's okay to get tired. Listen, to do the work of decluttering, it might not be that you're lazy. You might just be overwhelmed. It might just be too much. You don't know where to start. Just as the same thing that causes procrastination in our works, you might just not know where to start. Maybe you have your school assignment to do. You have the sales machine to work on. You have the email to send to your client. You have just so many things to do. Make that to-do list and prioritize it and say, oh, this is what I will do first. This won't take me 5 minutes. Let me quickly do it and get it out of the way. This, I have started it yesterday. Let me finish it up. This, I can't do it today. Let me reschedule it to the next day, or let me tell someone to do it for me. We need to get into that habit of delegating. So make a screenshot if you have not, and you can always go back to this. Now, our call to action. What do we do from here? Or what do we do when we move away from here? Please make a screenshot of this. One, we really need to reflect. We need to reflect, what point are we in our life? In our physical life, our mental life, our spiritual life. What point are we? Where do we need to take things away? What are those things that we need to give? Spiritually, it will be that you are holding a grudge against somebody, which is blocking you to receive new things and which is blocking you to attract new opportunities and new positive things into your life. reflect. You have to do this work, and don't even leave it till tomorrow. When we jump off this life, please give yourself additional 5 to 10 minutes and just write out those things. Evaluate yourself and see, where do you need to have a change? Where do you need to make a change? Listen, the best form of self-care is discipline. So the next 10 minutes will really tell you how disciplined you are. I mean, after this session, the next 10 minutes, what you do with that next 10 minutes will tell you how disciplined you are. If you really can sit back and say, this is the next thing I want to do. In my business, I want to write out this. I want to do this. I should do this. I should do that. I should take this away. I should organize myself. I should download a calendar to start using to organize my activities. I should speak to somebody who needs to help me on social thing. Those actions are where our result lies. You need to be able to identify what needs to change. Identification. Self-awareness. Self-awareness is a journey. We never really complete the work of self-awareness because we keep discovering things and discovering things. In fact, years to come, you will still notice that there's some things in you that are coming up that you never really know they were there. We humans, we are like rooms. You know, when you have a big house and you have about 20 rooms, and in each of the rooms, you don't get to enter many of these rooms, but the rooms are there. In some of the rooms, it has a lot of dust, it has a lot of dirt, it has a lot of clutter. You've never really entered it to say, come out, you overthinking, come out anxiety, come out depression, come out trauma, come out trigger, come out all the bad things, bad experiences that are in you that you don't even know they're there. But with time, self-awareness, you get into this room, you do the cleanup, you get into another room of your life, you do the cleanup. And that's why the casing principle will help you. When you really think about 1% thing that you can change every day. Assessment would also be important. You can say in the next 1 month, I want to assess myself. Where am I today? Where am I in the next 1 month? Assessment will be important because it will give you some sort of fulfillment to say that, oh, I have finally been able to clear my wardrobe. I've finally been able to arrange my shoe rack. I've been wanting to refill my diffusers. I finally got that done. I've been wanting to start using a to-do list. I finally bought a note stick, a stick note to start writing my to-do list. Simple little details that will change our life. And finally, we need to commit to mastery. Yeah, we need to commit to mastery. We need to keep showing up and keep doing the work and never get comfortable with where you are. Please put mastery in the chat box. Now, I want you to become clutter-free. This is where I want you to be. If there's anyone who is on the left hand side of the slide, you're you're so cluttered up, you're filled with a lot of fears, a lot of worries, a lot of triggers. You want to achieve dreams, you want to break boundaries. But then and then, thank you, Black Rose. But then and then again, there you don't know where to start. So you need to know what areas of life you need to slow down on and do some more work in, so that you can have that organization, you can have that calm, you can have that peace, you can have that serenity. There is a lot of work we can do with mastery. If you want to become more clutter-free, please put clutter-free in the chat box. I want to take you on a journey. These are some of our works I like to show. Yeah, let me say I like to show off some of our work. And Fola is here. Fola is here. She's on the chat as well tonight. Thank you, Fola, for joining us. Fola, we have two Folas on the chat. They are both clients with a better me. They've bought some of our programs before, right? And I'm saying thank you for joining the journey of growth with me. Thank you for coming on with me. Thank you for believing in my works. I appreciate you, the two followers. I know you're here in the room. Tammy is also here. I know you're here. Thank you. That's another client of ours. So this is some of our works. We do private sessions, we do online sessions, we do conferences, just so we can master ourselves. I can see everyone saying clutter-free, mastery. Thank you for indicating where those words in the chat. I want us to connect. I want you to be able to book a call. And if Bestin is in the room, could you please put a link in the chat box where people can book a call? If you need additional support for your business, I don't know what area you need the support in. I am more than happy to give you that support. The link is on there. I do not know if you can click the link, but you should be able to. It's popped up already. Click the link, book a call. And there is one thing you can do. If you do not find a perfect time on my calendar, to be honest, the month of June, I'm going on holiday. And well, it's a spiritual holiday. I won't be here, and I won't be able to take so much call. My calendar might be closed, but I opened a few slot already. So I want you to book the call, or if you're not able to find a time that suits you, you can send me an email. Best in please, if you could put up the email in the chat, that will be fine. Please put up the email in the chat and let's connect. Let's have a one-to-one chat and let me know what your needs are in the journey of decluttering. Black Rose says, so interesting how much clutter affects your life in so many ways. Yeah, it happens and we just don't know. But the more we start paying attention, we get to see all of those things gradually. And the more that we take action, the more that we can get better on the journey. I don't know who was the first person that booked a call. I mean, got on the chat for tonight. I don't know who was the first person, but put in the chat box if you have a question right now. While we're taking that question, I have a gift for the person who joined in first. Best thing, I don't know if you're able to trace that. The first comment I read was from Black Rose, but I don't know if she was the one who joined in first. But if you think you're the one who joined this chat first, if you were the number one on the list, you can put in the chat box number one. Let me know if you're the one. But I know Black Rose was the first comment I read. And I have a gift for you tonight. But before then, questions. Please give me your questions. Let's answer that. Questions. Oh, Fola says, Shakira, you're amazing. Thank you, Fola. Thank you. You're amazing too. I know you're showing up. I know you're doing the work. I miss you so much after the 3 months coaching program. But I know you're showing up and I wish you the best. Thank you for joining tonight. Black Rose says number one. Okay, yeah, I believe that you're number one. So all you need to do to claim your free gift. Questions, please, questions. I would like to take more questions. Question can come into the chat box. But how to claim your free gift is use the link and book a call. If you, however, don't find a time that suits you on the calendar, you can send me an email to connect@abettermecoaching.com. Connect@abettermecoaching.com. If you're not yet a member of our WhatsApp community and you wish to join, shall we put the link here? So just so that it's not so many information. What do we do? Okay, so let's go back to special gifts. Congratulations, Black Rose. Please, can we congratulate her? Congratulations to you, Black Rose. You have just won a 1-hour coaching session. It's going to be a quick question and answer. And I would share some resources that could be useful for you according to what we share on the coaching call, right? And on that session, I know that we'll learn from each other so much, right? And I want to walk with you on the journey. So if you are ready, okay, people are congratulating Black Rose already. Congratulations, amazing. If you're ready to work more and organize yourself, body, mind, soul, and spirit, so that you can receive abundance, so that you can be more positive, so that you can take your business to the next right level, please book a call with me. I will be more than happy to walk you on the journey. Oh, my mommy is here. I won't really me. Good evening. I'm so blessed. Thanks for this. All right. I'm so happy that everyone seemed to have gotten one or two things from the session tonight. And I do hope that you can take this on. Listen, our results are in the way that we implement. If we want to see results in our lives, we need to keep implementing. And so many times is in the small little details, the small little habits, the small little changes that we make every day. Remember the Kaizen principle, 1% improvement every day. And you will look back in 1 year time and say, look how far I have come. Look how far I have come. I can let go of my most expensive bag because my life is bigger than that bag. I can let go of this and that because my life is bigger than that, right? Let go. You have a big life. You have impact and influence to do out there. The focus should always be on that. And to do that, we need to keep ourselves really grounded, body, mind, soul, and spirit. So if this has spoken to you, please go back and implement. Don't forget, the next 10 minutes after this session, go back and reflect and make a call to action. People who take action see massive results. And that's where I want to be with you. I want to see you be in the next new season, seeing results, smashing your numbers, moving on a journey of entrepreneurship, becoming that structured entrepreneur, becoming that organized person, right? I want to see you in the room doing great exploits. I want to see you at the top. So congratulations. If you're not already a member of the community, you can join our WhatsApp community. How do people join now? Best thing, please put the link in the chat. We just don't want to make it open because this YouTube live is always replayed. We're streamlining the community. We don't want everybody in the community. We want action takers. We want people who really need actions. We want people who really need results. And that's why we don't want to publicize the link. But for tonight, let's just do that. So whoever needs the link would see that. Best thing, please quickly post the link. It's 9 p.m. already. We do not wish to overshoot our time on the chat tonight. But it's because you'll be able to master new success habits. And also, you'll be able to get access to the monthly free masterclass that will help us get to the next level in our business or in any of the 12 areas of our life. So congratulations. Thank you for coming on the chat. I just don't want to close up now. I'm waiting for Bestin to put in the chat box the link for the WhatsApp community. Bestin, please could you help us? And a big thank you to you, Bestin, my tech assistant. They say there is no letter I in the word team. There is no letter I in the word team. It means we are a couple of people moving the business forward at a better pace. So I want to say a very big thank you to Bestin. Thank you for your unwavering support. Thank you so much for being a member of the team. Thank you for pushing this team to the next level because I mean, there's no I in the team. We're doing this together. The link for the WhatsApp is already in the chat. So pick up on that if you want to be a part of us. And I will see you in the success room. Go and do amazing things. June is just around the corner. Show up, do the work, and you will shine brighter. I'll speak to you soon. Cheers, everyone, and congratulations to Black Rose. Good night.